Welcome to HappyMind Nutrition, where we rediscover the simple, time-tested way our families used to eat. Today we look at apple cider vinegar, a pantry staple that has sat on kitchen shelves for generations. People once reached for it to brighten salads, preserve garden vegetables, and add a sharp note to everyday meals. In many households, it was simply part of the rhythm of cooking rather than a special remedy. This episode explores its place in old kitchens, the straightforward ways it still appears in home cooking, and the myths that have grown around it. Everything we share is general, educational, and cultural information, not medical advice, and individual results vary. We will stay grounded in tradition and what mainstream nutrition actually tells us about whole foods and balanced eating. Apple cider vinegar earned its spot in American kitchens because it was easy to make from orchard windfalls and lasted without refrigeration. Farm wives and town cooks alike kept a crock or jug on hand for pickling cucumbers and beets, for sharpening the flavor of wilted greens, and for stretching limited ingredients into satisfying dishes. Its mild acidity helped keep food safe in the days before reliable canning. Grandmothers valued the cloudy version that still held a trace of the original fruit, and they passed down simple recipes that used it in small splashes rather than large amounts. That same practical habit continues today whenever someone reaches for a bottle to finish a soup or dress a bowl of cabbage. One of the most common traditional uses remains the simple vinaigrette. A few spoonfuls of apple cider vinegar mixed with oil, a pinch of salt, and perhaps a spoon of mustard creates a dressing that lifts the taste of fresh lettuce, sliced tomatoes, or shredded carrots. The acidity balances richer foods on the plate and encourages people to eat more vegetables. Nutrition research supports the idea that meals built around vegetables and whole ingredients support normal digestion because fiber adds bulk and feeds helpful gut bacteria. Apple cider vinegar itself contributes flavor and a small amount of acetic acid, but it is the overall pattern of the meal that matters most. Many families still keep this dressing recipe on a worn index card. Pickling with apple cider vinegar connected summer gardens to winter tables. Cooks poured the vinegar over sliced cucumbers, green beans, or onions, added spices from the cupboard, and let the jars sit. The result was a crisp, tangy side that added interest to plain bread and meat. These preserved vegetables brought extra fiber and variety during colder months, when fresh produce was scarce. The process itself is straightforward home preservation, rather than any special health ritual. Today, small batch pickling has returned to many kitchens as a way to enjoy seasonal produce and reduce waste. The vinegar simply acts as the preserving agent, while the vegetables supply the nutrients people have always valued. Some older cookbooks mention stirring a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into warm water with a little honey before a meal. The drink was valued for its tart sweet taste, and for the way it encouraged slower eating. In folk practice, it was seen as a gentle aid to comfortable digestion when paired with a balanced plate of food. Modern studies on acetic acid show modest effects on blood sugar response after carbohydrate meals, yet the evidence remains limited and varies widely among people. Any benefit likely comes from the simple act of sipping a warm liquid and paying attention to hunger cues rather than from a strong physiological action. It remains a quiet kitchen habit rather than a guaranteed result. Over the years, many claims have attached themselves to apple cider vinegar. Stories suggest it can dramatically change body weight, clear skin, or balance the body in powerful ways. Most of these ideas rest on tradition or small, early studies rather than large, repeated clinical trials. The body already manages digestion, detoxification, and fluid balance through the liver, kidneys, and everyday processes. Adding a splash of vinegar to food does not replace those systems or create rapid change. When we separate the folklore from the evidence, we see a pleasant acidic ingredient that can make meals more enjoyable and encourage vegetable intake, but little beyond that. Current nutrition understanding points to acetic acid as the main active component in apple cider vinegar. Small studies suggest it may slow stomach emptying slightly and blunt blood sugar spikes when consumed with a meal containing carbohydrates. These findings are interesting yet modest, and they do not apply equally to everyone. The larger message from research is that consistent patterns of eating whole foods, including fermented items and plenty of fiber, support normal digestive comfort over time. Apple cider vinegar fits into that pattern when used in cooking or as part of a flavorful dressing, not as a standalone solution. Apple cider vinegar belongs in the same category as many other time-tested kitchen ingredients, useful for flavor, simple to keep on hand, and pleasant in modest amounts. Its story reminds us that small, repeated choices around real food often matter more than any single addition. When we cook with it in dressings or pickles, we connect to older ways of making the most of what the garden and orchard provided. Keep the focus on whole meals built around vegetables, grains, and proteins, and let vinegar play its quiet supporting role. Subscribe to HappyMind Nutrition for more calm explorations of the foods our families once relied on. Remember, this is general, educational information rooted in tradition, not medical advice. Everyone is different, so please talk with your doctor, pharmacist, or a registered dietitian before changing your diet or trying herbs, especially if you are pregnant, nursing, on medication, or managing a health condition.